Hello and welcome back to another video. So in this one I'm going to be doing, as the title suggests, high clearance brass linkage for the TRX4M, and then I'm going to plan on doing the build first. I'll time lapse the video so you don't have to wait through the whole build process. Most of it's straightforward. Take off and you replace what needs replaced. Tomorrow I'll go back to EN Hobbies and then we'll test out the crawling course and see what kind of difference it makes having the extra weight down low and the high clearance. Gotta get my caffeine in for the build. A little bit cleaner than the last time you guys saw it. So first thing you need is your TRX4, and I had to kind of clean it up down the bottom there. I had to use some hot glue to put the little gas cans back on, and then the side view mirror. So I'll probably just get something to remove the excess glue on there, and it should be fine. Lots of little miscellaneous pieces I can just break off. So the first thing I like to start to do, especially if you have a messy workbench like mine, just get a paper towel or something and lay it down as your workspace to kind of keep it clean. Alright, so approximately weight is 41 grams. I forget if... I know I weighed the TRX4M stock, and I gotta see if I can figure out how much it weighed before. But this is definitely gonna add some extra weight. I can see how much, or how many grams the stock TRX4 linkages. Alright, so factory links 8 grams, so quite a bit of a difference. So for the most part it should be pretty straightforward. So you'll just have to match the lengths, and then you have the front ones are shorter than the rear ones, and then on the rear, so you have the two bottom ones right here, which you should be able to get through the stock wheels. If you have other bead locks, you might need to remove the wheels, and then you got the two links up on top. So hopefully I can get to it without having to remove the wheels, but it shouldn't be too bad. And then up front, got the same screw that holds in the bottom of the shocks also holds in the pivot balls for the links. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, start tearing this apart. If I come across any nuances or anything that you might want to keep in mind while doing this yourself, I'll show you guys any instances. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right in. And for this, the main size of the hex screws on here is going to be 1.5 millimeter. These are newer, that I got off of Amazon, and they so far have done a really good job. Haven't rounded anything off with them yet, so pretty solid on Amazon. I definitely recommend replacing them every once in a while, because you'll start stripping stuff eventually. Now I do recommend getting up some of these pliers. Forget the actual name, but they're for if you looked up something like shock shaft pliers or holders, these would pop up. It's nice because they're made out of a softer metal, and when you're dealing with shock shafts, it does a really good job of being able to hold pressure on it and screw on things without worrying about scuffing up or screwing or messing up the finish on the shock shafts. Not as important here, because if these get a little bit marred up, that's just kind of par for the course, considering it's a crawler and they're going to be scraping on things. But these pliers definitely do help when getting on the eyelets. Alright, so link 1 just got done, and just made sure it was the right size as the other ones. The pivot balls fit in there kind of snugly, a little bit of friction, and you could probably ream out the eyelets a little bit to make them fit maybe a little bit smoother, but you want to be careful doing that. And then as far as the little spacers go, I don't know if I'll need to even use any of them. So I might just see how they fit in without any kind of spacers, and if they need any, then I'll just add accordingly. And I just now happened to realize that the links from the factory are actually plastic. I don't know how I didn't notice that. I thought that they were at least an aluminum or some kind of alloy, some kind of metal, so a little bit surprised. So doesn't weigh hardly as much, so we'll have to definitely weigh it after we're done installing these. Another thing I wanted to mention with these pliers is that you can also put pivot balls in by setting it on top. Hopefully you can see that all right, but that one's bending, but I'm gonna maybe have to redo some of this. Well, definitely this part, because I didn't put the drive shafts back together. But it seems like the pivot balls, they're just too snug, I think, on the ball ends. So it might be worth to go through sometime and possibly shave out some of the inside to make it so the pivot balls move a lot more freely, because right now they're not. And then I want to make sure that the suspension is nice and free, because I'm just more worried about some of the binding issues there. So I might have to redo some of it, but it's whatever. Just got the back 2 links to do left and should be all set. Alright, so it's all complete. I ran into a little bit of a problem, which is, I mean, it was already not the best to start, but it doesn't want to move as freely, I don't think, as what it did before. And to try and compensate, I screwed down, I put the most tension I could on the stock springs that came with the Injora shocks, but over here I have some stronger springs, so I might have to do something like that, but I also don't want it too crazy and compensating. But looks nice. Everything went together fairly easily. Didn't really run into much of a problem. It's just the pivot balls, they just don't really like pivoting as much. They're just kind of, there's just lots of resistance, and I tried getting a little piece of sandpaper and kind of reaming out the like eyelet right here, and it still wasn't too good. I mean, maybe I can try doing it some more. I'll probably have to go through and maybe redo this, but I put WD-40 on all the joints, so hopefully that can, you know, give a little bit more play in it. But pretty good. I am looking forward to taking this thing out. So that means the total upgrades for this thing so far are the shocks, the bearings, because it has bushings from the factory, so I replaced them all with bearings, and I think that helped a little bit with some of the resistance in the drivetrain. And now the high clearance brass, and so with that extra weight a little bit, we'll see kind of what happens. I'll have to kind of play around with this some more. We'll see how it drives, but I don't know. Suspension, it's bouncier now than what it was before, maybe with a little bit more weight. And it's not as bad. I'm actually I'm gonna swap out the springs. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be right back. I had my mic facing the wrong way, so my audio was probably pretty quiet, so I apologize, but I ended up just deciding to keep the stock springs on. So what I'm gonna probably end up doing eventually would be, you know, taking off the links and then using that sandpaper more to make the pivot balls be a little bit more free. I think that would help the suspension travel a lot and free up some stuff. So but I'm gonna go ahead and take it out, and then tomorrow actually I'm gonna do the indoor course at EN Hobbies here in Columbus, and we'll see how it performs, so stay tuned. So that brings the total weight to 567 grams. Alrighty, so it's the following day, and I finally made it out here at EN Hobbies. I have another video in the works here, and I've had some shorts here. It's a great place if you're in Ohio and you're looking for off-road or wanting to mess with some on-road or crawling. They have a little bit of everything there, drifting. So it's pretty fun, pretty cool setup that they got there. Oh yes, before I forget, what I ended up doing was I went back and I took off all of the linkage again, and I used a Dremel and some sandpaper to make the pivot balls a lot more free. It's so much better than what it was before. So here are the links now. You see it moves a lot free. I wasn't able to move it like that, it was just binding up. So I got those. Got the other ones down here, the lower ones. Can't really move them as easily. See the eyelet there. Some of them are a little bit too loose. I removed a little bit too much material, but pretty free now. And so now it travels a lot better, a lot more free. So it looks like we actually got some breakage. The link end right there busted off. It probably happened when it fell, but I don't know if it was also because I shaved off too much. So thankfully I got some extra ones at home, so I'll throw in one of those. But unfortunately we're gonna have to end our test a little bit sooner than I would have wanted to. But yeah, if you just check out this track though, I mean, they put a lot of effort into it and it's pretty nice. And then over here you can see got people practicing. Definitely lots of fun here. But I do think it did better than what it did stock when it was coming up here. This part right here is really challenging, and with the high clearance links it was able to actually get over. I don't think I was able to do that last time without those links. Elevator shaft's pretty sweet, works good, works well. And then unfortunately I noticed my link was broken when I was trying to do this, but it made it up this a lot higher than what it has before. So definitely some benefits with the high clearance links. Didn't get to really do the tilt table, which it would have been able to do fine on that. And here's the finish line. It's not able to climb up this. Be switching out tires, get some more weight. But no, that stinks. Normally things don't break like that. And then they have this one over here, which is a lot of fun. And I'll probably come back and do another test on this little map they've created as well. But no, lots of effort went into it and they did a good job. And so definitely has different challenges that we can test when we do some more upgrades. I noticed they have this drone here No radio, no batteries, but it says $0, so I'm gonna ask him. Might need to pick this up, make a video on this. Alright, so check this thing out. It is actually $0. Just needs a radio and a battery. I can probably just find a, I think he said a 1-cell battery with this JST connector. So put in one of those, get a radio to bind it to, and heck, this, I don't know, it's probably gonna be my first drone. I don't think I've ever had a drone. I mean, it's nothing too fancy, but can't beat free. So yeah, nice little surprise. So unfortunately, I was not able to run it as much as I could, but I think I got enough footage to at least have something, and I got a free drone out of it, so I will have to mess with that and probably make some kind of video with that. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Eon Hobbies is a great place if you want to do any kind of crawling or on-road and stuff. You know, I've said it before, and it's solid. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's a great place, really nice people. So I'm gonna fix the TRX4M. Might run it a little bit more today or something, I don't know, but that's probably a weak spot, potentially, with the link ends, the plastic link ends that have the pivot ball, because it shouldn't have probably broke that easily. The stock one was able to take some pretty good hits. So and then I did shave out some of the plastic, some of the material, to allow the balls to be more free and not bind. So that could have played something, but if it's binding, it's not going to drive good. So you don't want that. So we'll see. I have some extra, it came with some extras, thankfully, so I'll just put those on when I get home. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you want to see more content just like this, or if you have any other ideas or things that you would like to see specifically, feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to accommodate what I can. It's been great doing this with you guys, and I hope you have a good rest of your week, have a good rest of your day. I messed up. Have a good rest of your day, have a good rest of your week, have a good rest of your month. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.